Hey guys, it's Snipezy. Welcome back to Dragon's Dogma 2, and this could potentially be the final video before we reach the credits of the game. So, before we move on to that, there's a lot of things that we have to talk about. Obviously, we got new pawns so that we can prepare for this final fight that's going to happen.
Indeed, though 'tis not widely known among the common folk.
And as well, we have been doing a bunch of stuff off screen because I got all of the armor, as you can see, but I also decided to upgrade some things that I have on me, like the armor itself I upgraded at the forge, and I can show that off right now. So if I go to equipment, you can see here that it's upgraded, which is pretty good. And I'm actually using the Warfare location because I found out recently that if you have this equipped, it will upgrade your other locations passively. So you don't have to be stuck to one singular location if you want to upgrade multiple ranks on multiple locations. So as you can see, I've already got Fighter 2 and Warrior 2, and I haven't even played those locations. So this is a brilliant way to increase the ranks for all of your locations, and I definitely recommend it. The only thing that's a bit limited is, of course, the skills, because I've got 3 at the minute, and I only have high free gore, and then the mirror shield for the Mystic Spear Hand, and then the Sagittite Avalanche for the Mystic Archer. And then the other thing to talk about is that I also fought some dragons whilst I was off screen, and I'm going to show that right now. There's some of the dragons that I fought, some that I semi-recorded and some that I fully recorded, and you know, just make sure you're well prepared with really good pawns, as well as, you know, having your location set up with one that will easily destroy the dragons, because, you know, if you made it this far, then you definitely have locations that are strong enough to take down the dragons. And I think depending on how quick you are to take them down, I think you get more of the worm life crystals, but I could be wrong. It's just something that I'm speculating, because some dragons gave me more crystals than the other. Like the one that was in Back Patel, that was really difficult. It took me a while to actually take it down. And I noticed that it only gave me about 5 crystals, and I found one on the floor, so it wasn't really that much. But whereas the other ones, they gave me loads more of the worm life crystals, so I'm speculating that it could be based off that, to be fair. So I took down a couple of those. There are some wyverns, some dragons that I did leave off, so I'll probably do that another time if I do need the crystals. But we just gotta like get more materials to actually be able to do that, since I can't quite fully upgrade my current gear. But I'm not far off it, I just need like more money and things like that. There are some dragons that have things nearby, as I showed off in the previous video. There's the dragon in the ancient battleground, and if you actually go through the dungeon that's during the Hold to Rest quest, there's a ballista at the top, a huge one, and you can use that to hit the dragon a little bit if you're not quite as high level or not quite as strong. So there are things available to take down the dragons more easily. And I'd say definitely make sure you got a healer, someone that can do close quarter attacks. And for me, I found Mystic Archer was brilliant with those skills, just like firing the arrows at the weak spot with the heart. Or even if the dragon is on the floor, you can just hit it with close quarter attacks, you know, short range attacks. So like just, you know, slashing it with your sword or whatever, if you're able to topple the dragon, because sometimes you can stun the dragons so that they can't get back up for a bit of time, and then they'll just be like lying on their side, or sometimes they'll just like stay on the ground for a bit. But it's pretty good to have a bit of a mix, I think. So the Warfare was a good choice for me, I think, with having the option of, you know, attacking from range as well as attacking up close, so it definitely paid off. Also, whilst I was hunting down the wyverns slash dragons, I was also collecting the seeker tokens so that I can try and get the achievements related to it. So I just went through the map, just looking through, and I was following some guides to show the locations of them. So it was pretty good to just collect those as I was going in between places with, you know, fighting the dragons. And basically it's required that you get 80 of the tokens in order to get the achievement. So it took a bit of time, but having a guide, it's pretty doable, to be fair. It's like not too difficult, and like I said, whilst I was trying to find the finder's token with the Sphinx riddles, I'd say definitely make sure you have a mage location, or if you're playing as Warfarer, just have the mage staff so that you can easily levitate between areas, higher platforms and whatnot. But yeah, it wasn't too difficult to get that achievement. It just took a bit of time. And then I did also get a lot of other achievements as well. There was quite a lot that I didn't realise that I missed out on. And one of them in particular was to turn the Medusa to stone, and I talked about this before. So basically I used the existing Medusa head to do this, and at first I was a little bit worried in case the head would decompose, but luckily it was totally fine. And I was quite surprised how quickly the Medusa managed to turn to stone. You can even destroy the Medusa like once it's turned to stone, which is pretty funny. You can just see it just crumble down. And also there was another achievement that I did, which is called Harpy Joyride. And it means that you basically have to get hold of a particular item, and I'm showing it off in this clip that I did in my spare time. This is the achievement clip, but basically you need to use a certain harpy item to summon a harpy, and you grab hold with the R2/RT button, and then just keep hold of the harpy as long as you can. It's very hectic, it looks really weird, but it can somewhat help you get across high areas or lower areas, so I mean, just give it a try. It's pretty funny. But also the achievement for the Medusa was called Eye for an Eye, by the way. And then the other achievement that I got, and I talked about this before, is grill every type of meat during night and day, which is the Barbecue Maester achievement. And I did this passively through playing the game, and there are checklists online, and basically what you need to do is get yourself the two different types of meats. So you have the beast steaks and the strag of meat, or strag of beast, and you know, basically one piece is bigger than the other. You want to have one that's normal of each type, you want one of each type which is aged, and then one of each type that is rotten, and of course, because you need to do night and day times 2, and then you need one dried meat for day and one dried meat for night, and then you need to get yourself exquisite dried meat, one for daytime and one for nighttime when you're cooking at the campfire. And the exquisite dried meat, you have to get this from aged beef steaks, which is the bigger meat. You need to get 2 of those, combine them, and that creates the exquisite dried meat, just so you know about that. And I talked about this previously when I was, you know, cooking meat throughout the playthrough, but yeah, just thought I would mention that. Also, this is a achievement which is quite weird, but it's called Plenty Arisen to Go Round. Witness a brawl break out in your dwelling among your admirers. And I found a guide online to do this, and you can get 2 NPCs to come to your house, and you can just do it with any NPC that's like in the close vicinity of your house, but basically you have to give them gifts until they really like you. And when you see the rosy cheeks, that means that they really like you, and you can get them to follow you to your house. And then it took me a bit of time, it was a little bit janky, but they will eventually come to your house, and you might need to rest on a bench. I would say do it on a bench and not on your bed, in case you're doing what I'm doing, because I use the Worm Life crystals to give them as a gift, because they're very rare, so obviously it will help increase their affinity towards me very quickly, and I gave them a lot of the crystals, so there was no way I was going to make another bed save to lose those crystals. So I just rested on a bench to make time pass, and I think it did help with that, because eventually they actually were standing outside my house and then I just pressed circle with hail and, you know, just to get them to come to my house. And then once they finally got to my house, they started fighting each other and the poor woman got absolutely smacked to bits, and I felt really bad just watching them fight over me. You know, they were just like fighting each other because they were like, no, he is my arisen. And it's like, okay, this this is a bit awkward, but a pretty funny achievement, and it was worth the laughs. And then the next achievement is called To the Victor Go the Spoils, reclaimed your items from the scavenger who stole them from you. And this one is a little bit tricky as well, but if you just have a little bit of patience and if you get lucky, you can get a scavenger to steal stuff from you, and then you can just take them down and claim it back. And you'll see a notification when this is successful from the scavenger, because the scavenger looks like the thief location sort of NPC. Eventually over time they will steal your stuff, or they will try to steal stuff from one of your NPCs, and as long as you take down that scavenger you will get your stuff back. So you just gotta kill the guy. I think you can also do it if you grab him too, but I just decided to kill him so that I could claim my stuff back that he stole, and I got the achievement no problem. Just took a bit of patience. And then the next one related to patience is the re-griffining. Took flight on Griffin Wing a second time, so of course this is from a griffin that we've seen a couple times in Bak Batal, and I saw a video where there's a really good area to go to where it's outside Bak Batal where the main city is, and you can get the griffin to come over towards you, and I just shot it over with the mage to get its attention, and I had some stamina restoring items whilst I was holding on to the eagle so that I could hold on long enough so that it could eventually just fly off with me. And again, it just took a little bit of patience to slowly wait for the griffin to fly away. I think this was a good idea because the griffin wasn't flying towards any of my NPCs or like any other enemies. There was only a few goblins, but once the griffin got bored of them, it just flew off and I got the achievement, no problem. And just to see the sights of like the eagle flying me around, it was incredible. It was so cool to see, and I think that was well worth the achievement. And now moving on to achievement that I think was not worthwhile because oh my god, I wanted to tear my hair out because I was trying to get the Cyclops Abridged achievement, and there were these guys that were saying, oh yeah, just like try going to this location, and honestly I had really bad luck. I was like trying to rest and in constantly going back and forth to these specific areas that they said, oh yeah, you will find a Cyclops near the bridge, and I was just getting really bad luck. But eventually a Cyclops did spawn nearby, and it took a little bit of trial and error, like grabbing the pawns that the Cyclops was attacking, and in the end I decided to dismiss my current pawns until I could eventually just get the Cyclops to come over towards me on the other side of the bridge, and then it fell down and I just walked along it and I got the achievement. And I did try this with a first attempt, but sadly the Cyclops actually fell down and it wouldn't grab onto the other side, so it just died. And that was kind of funny, but I was like, oh no. So I had to like start that over again. But yeah, the Cyclops Bridged, it will take a bit of patience, but you can kind of get lucky if you're doing this early game. You can bump into the Cyclops and just get it to walk over, or you may have already done this through chance, but I did not get the Cyclops to do this before. I didn't even know you could do this, so it was pretty funny to see, but frustrating. And then the final one that I wanted to mention, since it's an achievement that you can do and just, you know, you don't have to waste the Eternal Wakestone for this, but basically if you use the Eternal Wakestone when there's roughly 2 NPCs or more that are died, then you can just use your Eternal Wakestone to bring them back to life and you will get the Reaper's Scorn achievement. And you got to make sure that you treat this like a fairy stone, so you have to use it when you're out in the open, so somewhere, you know, where you're not inside. You got to be outside where there's clear sky, you throw it up and you get the achievement. So I think it's worth just doing that, and then I just reloaded my last in save so that it wouldn't save over me using the Eternal Wake Stone, so that I could keep it if I do actually need to use it for something serious. So that's pretty much all the achievements that I wanted to talk about, and all the ones that I did that I noticed I was missing. So it just took a bit of time to get through all of those, and of course we're fighting the dragons. So I nearly forgot to talk about this, but there is a fairy stone farming location that you can go to, and it's near where the shrine is, where we did the last Sphinx riddles. And along this path you will see ogres or manitors, sometimes a mix of both. And I missed this, but there's a campfire over there, and basically the monsters have a very high chance of dropping a fairy stone, and some people even say that with their own luck that they can have infinite fairy stone farming. You know, they can infinitely farm fairy stones from the monsters, which is crazy. And I did test this out. I went back over there because I cleared this up. This was like misty before, but I had a Manosaur and it dropped a fairy stone for me. And sadly, I wasn't recording when I did this, but I did a little test, and yeah, it dropped me a fairy stone. And it's a really good spot for grinding for XP as well, if you want to do that, you know, increase your locations and your levels and whatnot. But that's pretty much everything, and you can see them right here with all the achievements that I acquired, that I just mentioned. So yeah, definitely make sure that you go ahead and do them for yourself if you are playing along. And just like that, location rank up with warrior and fighter. So, you know, just thought I'd also show that off as well, in, you know, that it actually does work, because again, I've never leveled up warrior or fighter thus far, only the other locations. But yeah, I'm also thinking what I'm gonna do is upgrade one of my pieces of armor, because whilst I was gone, I decided to, well, whilst I was talking about all the other stuff, I decided to upgrade my gear to rank 3 to the 3 stages, because I noticed I was able to. I was just lacking of money because it can be very expensive. Oh, nice. Dunstone. So I'm going to bring some of the life crystals that we have, and I have a very decent amount. So I think I'm going to need roughly 40, because I think I'd like to get the port crystal as well that he has available. And also, I can sell the jasper that I found throughout my travels. That will help bump up my money a lot. So yeah, whilst I was exploring, I was lucky enough to find jasper. Quite a lot of it as well. And also, I believe, a really good tidbit, and I think this happened when I went down this road, but I believe some of the monsters that are down here, they give you fairy stones, so if you want to farm for them and farm monsters, that's a really good thing to do if you go down that path, if you are strong enough, of course. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that. And maybe I'll do it in my spare time, who knows, because it's not too late. Not too late to do it, but let me go ahead and rest up.
We must rest.
And now what we're going to do is head over to the Dragon Forged. Alright, so we are here. Let's go ahead and... oh. Okay, Wallace, calm down. I don't know what he was doing.
Since times of... Remember, draconic blood flows through the vein.
Right, let's see. So, I think we can actually do this even if they're not fully unlocked. So, let's do this then. There we go, Dragon Forged. Strengthened a weapon in Wormfire. Yeah, so Worm Life Crystal. And let's see, trade item. Oh, so it does restock for... oh yeah, it's like a set number. Okay. Well, Did I get it? I could get more fairy stones though.
As well.
Let's enhance our gear first though. Oh, equipment must be fully enhanced before it can be strengthened. Okay. So I did the right thing. Okay, good. Good. That's fine. So if we get 3 of those and then that, we do have enough. Okay, that's fine. Good.
Bring me what ye reap, and I shall harness it to your benefit. Then I bid ye farewell.
I bid ye farewell. Alright, so to speed this up a bit, we'll use a port crystal. Sorry, a fairy stone. But we do have a spare fairy stone. I'm doing it again. We have a spare port crystal in my storage, as you can see with the 1. So let's use this. And we're going to go to the Agamen Volcanic Island. And it's the closest spot to get to the excavation site. So I'm going to drop down the port crystal when we get there.
But are we safe here?
I don't think it costs money as well if we do actually, you know, upgrade the gear. I think it just costs the crystals, you know, if we use the Dragon Forge.
You know, Soul, I'd not recommend camping. You'll awake neither black.
Alright, so let's just deposit that.
Blanket of ash.
And then how much do we have in total? 12, okay, yeah. So I did the right thing to get some for the upgrades and stuff. And when I
can give you a roof over your head at least.
when I get enough gear and stuff, I will enhance
Always a pleasure.
the armor to max. And I thought I would go for, you know, the width upgrade for the armor, because, you know, I can use this with the Mystic Spear hand as well as the Warfarer, so I can use it for like multiple different things with like the defenses that it provides me. And then obviously with the other gear I need to fully upgrade it first, so yeah. We'll get to that eventually, you know, it's like,
I'll collect that.
it's there. It's there if we, you know, if we get to that stage, but yeah. I think what I'll do...
You know, I'd not recommend camping. You'll awake neither blanket of ash.
Shall we get some rest then?
Yeah, we'll just do an in save here just in case.
A good sleep does wonders.
And now we're going to head back to the excavation site.
We've much to be getting on with.
Also the marker over there.
A new perspective.
It is a dragon, a lava dragon apparently. Alright, we made it, so let's go ahead and put the port crystal here if we can. There we go.
With the port crystal placed, we'll be able to use a ferry stone to return here in an instant.
So just like that, it is right there. So we got a port crystal set up at the excavation site, Volcanic Island camp, one in Back Batal because we will need that. Put one for the Dragon Forge if we need to upgrade our gear. And then we have one at Sacred Arbor. And I will probably add the spare port crystal somewhere else, but I'm not sure at the minute. I don't know where to put it. But if there's any certain spots that I notice that would be good from it, then I'll probably do that. Okay, so it's a new day and I'm going to talk about this pretty quickly because I decided to get one last achievement before we move on to the end of the game, and I'm going to show it for you guys right now, and that is for the tourist. And basically the way this achievement works is that you have to visit 50 different locations, but apparently it doesn't count if you come across locations such as a city or a town or like a path or something. It has to be caves slash dungeons. So the little cave icon that you can see, on the map. You have to enter those areas, and I was following a guide to try and see if I could find them all. There's a total of 104 apparently from a map that I was using. There's plenty of Dragon's Dogma 2 maps that you can find online, and you can get them to show you only dungeons and only caves, so that you can just like run around and get this achievement easily if you haven't done it like I have, since, you know, the game kind of encourages that you explore the game as you go. But I was very like narrow-headed with my focus on trying to get as much done as possible with the quests. But yeah, I thought I'd just mention that, and I could have done it later on in the game, but I decided no, I'll just do it now to get it over and done with. So that's pretty much it, and let's carry on with the story. We are all ready, and I've decided to switch to the Mystic Spear Hand for this last section, since I want to have more of a melee focused character for this. And we're wearing our sovereign armor. Very cool.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
So now we can go ahead and set this just like that. So definitely make sure that you're ready for this.
What to make of this?
And actually, you know what? Because of the cape, it's being a bit funky at the minute. Let's remove it. It only gives us a small boost anyways. Right. Here we are. Let's do this. There's also going to be a side quest down here too when we get to the tower, but I'll talk about it when we get to that point. I'm looking forward to this.
Mayhap you will think this a trifle, but who could have guessed that so many who were once arisen yet live? Though they are arisen no longer, it seems they still retain special powers.
Okay, so we need to go that way. Oh, okay. Of course not. Yeah, totally, we were going to follow them that way. I don't know how that thing managed to stay up that long, considering how big those stairs were.
Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
Oh, come on,
Let
Wallace.
us endeavour to keep up, though we are less fleet of foot. A contraption of some kind. I know not what to make of it. How shall we proceed, Arisen?
Alright.
Pawns will be ready to respond, whatever the outcome. You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need.
I'm just gonna add him as a favourite.
Should you need to communicate in Elvish,
There you go. Let's do it. We are rising the tower. They're just walking back and forth in circles. Okay, so once you're at the top of the tower, make sure to save your game, save and continue, because if you completed the quests Welcome to Batal and Tensions on the High Road, you're going to have a quest that will show up in a moment. So just to show this off, we have Tensions on the High Road as well as Welcome to Batal. Welcome to Batal is very easy to do since you can't really miss it when you're in Batal and you're going through back Batal exploring the city. You will bump into this. So yeah, make sure to do those before you enter the tower and whatnot, because we're going to be having a good old fight.
Contraption of some kind. I know not what to make of it. How shall we proceed, Arisen?
Because whilst we were doing
Pawns will be ready to
Tensions
respond,
on the High Road,
whatever the outcome.
you may remember some dialogue that Ragdoll said.
Well now, I'm a lucky man. Thought I was waiting here for naught. But when someone finally does come along, 'tis you.
Hi.
I've always wanted a real fight with you. One on one. Here's my chance.
Let's do it. Time to fight.
You're not holding back on me, are you? Sir Arisen?
Sir Admiral, Master. We've not heard a whisper of the man since you parted ways at the cave, yet there he stands.
He seems to desire a bout. Walk to fight him alone. We shall await you here. Best of luck to you.
Right, we're gonna hold him for a bit. And then just like throw him. And throw him.
You're even better than I'd hoped.
So we're just gonna hold him now. And if we hold him long enough, we should get a cutscene show up in a moment.
What a disgrace.
Says you. There we go. Just gotta keep on holding him.
Right alongside you. Just say the word.
There you go, that's it. There.
A fool's errand this. You're not present in this battle. You're not here for me. Well, so be it. My contract only bade me deliver my employer to the tower. I sought to battle you to the death entirely of my own accord. But I can't enjoy it. Not like this. So go. And when next we meet, we'll settle this properly.
Yeah. So, he gave us
Sir
a key.
Ragnall has let us pass. I suppose we ought to consider ourselves fortunate.
The key he left us won't allow us to proceed. Let us make use of it at once.
Yes. So, there's two options that you have during that quest where you can either kill him, throw him off, or he defeats you by throwing you off of the platform. And I did accidentally kill him a few times, so I had to like restart. But yeah, that's the hidden option that you can do if you hold on to him for long enough with R2/RT. And we'll get that cutscene show up, so you don't have to kill him to the death. And he gave us a weapon for that as well. And loads of money. Loads of money. And XP. So yeah. Definitely the best option, I think. Because he also opens the gate for you. And I'm gonna have a little look around here. Probably not much is there, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's like the last side quest until the end now. Oh, nice. Got an elixir. Wow. Oh wow, look at that. Like a fiery tornado.
Dragon, heed my call.
Dragon!
Your will is mine to command.
The dragon!
This arrival of the true Risen is most inopportune. Sovereign of Vermin, the ritual must not be disturbed. Let not the Arisen approach. You can manage that, I trust.
It is of vital importance to have a word with these faces. The pretender is not present.
So he's getting pawns to fight for him? Nice.
Your efforts are for naught, Arisen. Now, simply watch as this world's hollow and fruitless order is remade by my hand. The ritual is complete. The dragon comes.
The dragon! Ooh. Oh, not you again.
Behold! The Royce Dragon! By my power, the Dogma of Dragons is unmade.
You could ne'er understand, Arisen.
We must all be freed from the vulgar order wherein the dragon's existence determines all.
Oh, is there another dragon? It's a bigger dragon. Oh, bye bye, dragon.
Was not enough. Cursed, Arisen. You've doomed us all to the cycle. And you.
Oh man. It's the dragon that we saw at the start of the game.
Greetings, Arisen. Hast thou summoned the resolution to face me? Then answer me this. Why dost thou fight? Is it to reclaim thy flesh, thy stolen heart? Or is it to reclaim thy throne? I offer thee a choice. Grant unto me this life in my claws, and be gone from this place. Or stand and fight. Pitiable Arisen. The time for thou to make thy choice is come. Show me the path thou wouldst walk. Go, and thou shalt live to claim thy coveted throne.
Face the dragon. I think they're holding the person that we have the highest affinity with, but wow.
Thy life is forfeit. Thou wilt face the dragon's dogma.
Well, we gotta fight it, right?
The decision is thine to make.
Oh, sorry. Do I just hit it?
Intriguing. This then is thy will. Our parley is done.
Alright, that was weird.
We must fulfill our charges. I, as the dragon, and thou as the Arisen. Climb upon me, we shall depart for our true battlefield.
Ayo, climb up on thee. Ew, I can't believe I said that. No joke.
Thou wishest to dismantle the world's will, just as I do.
Alright.
Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world, should it meet such a fate? 'Twould become a fleeting, fragile, vacuous thing, bereft of the cycle. Naught would be born into its save chaos, great and terrible. Surviving in such a world would be no simple matter.
Right, so now what we have to do, and this is in order to get the true ending, so definitely make sure that you do this when you're at this point of the game if you want the true ending. Otherwise it'll just trigger the normal ending if you just let it fly around further on. So what we have to do is use the empowered Godsbane blades that was given to us from the guy after we gave him the worm life crystals. So yeah, let's do it. Right, I think we did it. We used it on ourselves and it killed the dragon in the process. Oh, whoa.
No, stay away.
Pray. Turn back.
Leave now, while you can.
You have strayed, Arisen. And for what? Lest you forget. You have a world where you belong. There, you are to fell the great evil in your path and rule the people as their sovereign. For that is who you are. And it is my wish that you should live out that life of purpose. The time has come for you to return. Go. My children shall see you there safely.
Let us go home. Together.
Wait. What?
To a world under your rightful rule.
To a world all your own.
Oh, creepy. Hell phase.
This is your will? Then behold, a world unmerciful, bereft the benevolent hands that guides.
Oh yeah, the benevolent, the things that are like in the water. Ugh. Like the tentacle things. I mean, that's just, ugh, that was creepy. The fact there was like some sort of monster in the water. Ugh, yeah, it made me very unsettled. Like seeing pawns just die in the water when they'd fall in, it's like, oh, and monsters as well. The sky is red, Dragon's Dogma 2! Because if you're... Oh, another dragon.
find it strange?
Dragon's Dogma 2. Witness the unmoored world. So if you remember and call back to the beginning of the game, when we saw the title after we flew on the Griffin, it said Dragon's Dogma, and then it showed us just then the logo, Dragon's Dogma 2, and I think this is kind of like the reinterpretation of the original story, with this unmoored world, and we got lots of cool things to check out with this place, and it's really, really, really cool because if you didn't do the true ending like what we did just then with the sword, you won't be able to access this. So if you get the bad ending or the normal ending, you'll miss this. So this is so cool.
But this is your world. The world to which you longed to return. Alas, if only you had chosen to become sovereign. At the end of your travails, you could have ruled over these lands in perpetual peace. Yet that world of limitless possibilities has ended. You stand now upon its remains, the vestiges of a world that could have been so much more. Innumerable wills have served to deliver this world from extinction time and time again. You alone have refused to carry out that great purpose. What you see before you is the consequence of your apathy. Behold.
Oh, look at that. What the heck? Like end of the world, oh my gosh.
It will all come to an end. As it has failed to be chosen, and as 'twill ne'er be read, this world will soon cease to exist. In the blink of an eye, the sickle of oblivion will reap aught that you have known.
And close shut the door. No, I'm not even saying it right. And close shut the doors of the oblivion.
I would advise you not
It's
to
hard.
waste these last moments. Explore the remnants of this world while you can.
Yes.
Perhaps in doing so, you shall come to see the truth and know the wretchedness of a world unworthy of being chronicled. How shall you fare, I wonder? Will you endure in this world, abandoned and unprotected?
There's a portal in Sacred Arbor there, like a little beam. One in Back Batal. And that's the Talos, the Guardian. Oh, that's the castle that rose from the water. Purple. Okay. You wielded the Godsbane blade. So we completed Legacy, the main story quest. Oh, we done it. Visit the seafloor shrine, halls of the first dawn. And that's been set as our priority quest. And where's Galadriel? Find your pawn. Oh, we need to find her. I've only got these people here. So that is where the Dragon Forged is. I could quickly go see if I can actually speak to him. But yeah, this is the Unmoored World. So it's the same map and everything, but as you can tell, there's like no water at all. It's like a deserted, like apocalyptic, dried up world. So let's see if we can actually find the Dragon's Forged guy.
You would gather the creature's corpse will serve us well.
Go right ahead.
What corpse? What are you talking about? Okay. It's like, yeah, let's fight the rats. Alright, let's see. Hello there.
The Arisen comes. Is this meeting also by the dragon's design?
Oh. So I got none on me at the moment, but oh wow, Dragon's Dogma. So it's a blade. Oh, we'll have to get that sword then. Oh wow. So that one has slightly better defense. So yeah, this is like the better gear we can get now. Part of the post game. So I wonder if we'll get like more of the dragon worm life crystals, you know, through like this Unmoored world. I wonder if we'll get more drops, because if we do, that would be brilliant. Because I'd like to get some of the strong stuff, some of the strong weapons and armor. But yeah, these were the ones that we couldn't get before, but now they are all unlocked to us. 110. Oh wow, that is a lot. But yeah, we definitely.
Then I bid ye farewell.
We definitely have to.
No purchases to be made.
Carry the stones.
I just hope the shopkeep understands.
The crystals, I mean.
I wish I knew your restraint, Arisen.
Alright, let's see what we got. So we've got 2 quests here: find your pawn and visit the seafloor shrine. So that's over there. And there's a port crystal in Back Batel. One there. One there. Half village. And whatever that thing is. So I think the first priority would be trying to get our pawn. But man, just like, this place is crazy. Oh, and look, there's a dragon. Is a dragon over there?
What has become of the world? Would that there were someone who could explain this madness.
Come to think of it, did not Sir Rathaeus speak of releasing the world from its bonds in the Seafloor Shrine?
If this is indeed the world unbound, then perhaps we ought to seek out his wisdom.
Yes. So, I think what I'll do, because we've reached a very significant point in the story, and, you know, we got the true ending, or at least we're working towards it, I'm going to end this part here. So, I know it's going to be a bit short compared to the other ones, but we'll be taking on all of the unmoored worlds that we have to offer with the quests, and all the monsters and dragons that are here. So, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun to check this out. And also, it's recommended that you are level 40 for this area. And as we can tell, we're level 56. So we should be fine to take on the monsters that are in the area, because they are going to be a bit stronger. So that's why I was mentioning about all the farming stuff to do beforehand, before this part of the game. And like with the visitor, sorry, the tourist achievement. You can still technically do it just like by exploring the area, but I just wanted to get it out of the way so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, just thought I'd mention it. So next time we're going to be exploring the Unmoored world, trying to get our pawn back as well, because she's disappeared. She's not with us anymore for some reason. And find out what is going on in the Unmoored world and what this all means. So I'll see you guys when we play some more Dragon's Dogma 2 in the next video. I'll see you guys then.